Jealousy and envy can be one of the most uncomfortable experiences to have, especially when you are pursuing music or pursuing some kind of creative venture, something where you're kind of showing yourself or sharing a part of yourself publicly, right? We can be so susceptible to comparing ourselves to other people. And recently, somebody that I've been mentoring came to me with this exact issue, and I was over the moon joyous about it because I have so much knowledge to share about this topic, because I myself have been in a position getting into the music industry and looking at other people, comparing myself to other people, and being really jealous of people around me, really jealous of friends. And it can feel like such an extremely shameful position to be in, very vulnerable. You feel like you can't open up about the way that you feel to other people. You can't trust them with that level of vulnerability, because it exposes this part of ourselves that is deeply insecure, that doesn't feel like we're good enough. And I have figured out a way to use jealousy and envy to direct me towards not only my authenticity, but creating a more stable and healthy relationship with myself, and, creating a life that I want to live. This type of situation can be inescapable, especially when we grow up without a solid foundation of, a stable sense of self and understanding our inherent value as human beings on this planet. There's always going to be somebody that is better than you. And that can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes. This person that I've been mentoring is so creative. It exudes out of her. She has this insane imagination, and it's part of the reason why I wanted to work with her in the first place, was that she just has this innate ability. It just pours out of her to create this world of just amazing things. I won't give too much away, but it's incredible. And when you're standing in front of somebody that has that potential, and I see that in her because I can see it in me, right? And she's sitting there telling me, like, I look at other people and I think, wow, like, they're doing it so much better. I don't know how to do that. Like, just comparing herself to people that are way further ahead than her, that have done way more to get to where they are. First thing I want to say is that there is enough success to go around for everyone. This is a fact. This is a fact. There is no such thing as lack. There is no such thing as not enough. There is no such thing as, if one person's doing it, it means that you can't. So what do you do then? You get inspired. You look at somebody that has something that you want. You think, okay, if I can see it in them, it exists within me. This is also a fact. Okay? Because your brain, everything that is inside of here, and the way that you observe the world, is filtered through you. Natural next step from there. How can I give myself or explore what this person has? And I bet that you're thinking, Hayley, how do I do that without copying somebody, without just, you're not going to copy, okay? Let's reframe this for a second. If you see somebody that looks the way that you want to look, that's doing what you want to do, anything like that, your immediate thought should not be, I need to be them. I need to be like them. I need to recreate them and emulate them so that I can pretty much be them. That's not what we're going to do, okay? We are going to instead think to ourselves, how can I explore what they have? How can I give myself what they have? How can I find these qualities within myself that lead me closer to my authenticity? Because usually with the people around us or that we see that shine really brightly, they're shining really brightly because they're being authentic. Authenticity is, it's the most potent form of shining. I'm so happy and fulfilled in my life because I am authentically myself, right? I remember being in this position with this friend that I had that I was so jealous of, and I remember thinking, like, damn, like, this, what they're doing is so authentic to me, but I feel like I can't do that because I don't want to copy. I don't want to I don't want to be obvious about liking the same thing, because it feels like only one person can do that. But it's just not true, because through exploring these things, what do I like about this person? What are the qualities that really stick out to me that I wish that I had? And through exploring them, knowing that the goal isn't to be them, but instead to be closer to my authenticity and to find my authenticity, it's ended up manifesting in a way that is unique to me. And I don't feel like I'm copying anyone. I don't feel like I'm copying this friend, it was years ago. I have completely different interests now, but through exploring those attributes or those things that I looked at somebody else and was like, I want that. I want to be them, sort of thing. It actually taught me more about myself, through kind of looking at other people and being like, damn, I really wish that I could do that, or I wish that I could wear that, or I like the way that this makes me feel when I look at it, or something like that. What does it say about me? It says I really like wearing black. I really like well framed silhouettes, things like that. Whatever it is, florals, color palettes, and figuring out what you don't like as well. Seeing something that somebody does that you're jealous of or envious of. What do they do that you don't like? Anyone else, even what is everybody else doing that I don't like, that I don't want to explore? All of these things can bring us to a deeper understanding about ourselves. And I've implemented these things in a healthy way. There was somebody else when I moved into the city and I started being in a band and playing gigs and all of that. And there was one person in particular that was really just an extremely, extremely hard worker, very community focused, and that just really built up this spark within me. I really wanted to be involved in the community and sort of, really strengthening it and helping to strengthen it. And instead of looking at them and being like, damn, I wish that I was them, I should copy them, or any kind of jealous or envious thoughts that lead down that path, I said to myself, okay, if I can see it in them, then it exists within me, because genuinely, I'm just projecting onto them, It's like when you're in a toxic relationship and, they say that you've got rose-colored glasses on. Those rose-colored glasses is you projecting your best qualities onto this toxic person. And then when you get out of a relationship with them, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, how was I so blind? How did I end up being in a relationship with somebody so terrible? So it's the same sort of thing when we see somebody that we're jealous of or envious of. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down a specific person. Can be multiple people. I want you to write down all of the attributes, all of the things about this person that you are jealous of or envious of, okay? I want you to write all of those things down. And I want you to look at that list and look at the characteristics of this person and realize that those things exist within you already. And whether it's their style or their creativity, whatever it is about them, right? They are your interests. And by exploring them and letting them lead you and show you a roadmap towards what you want out of life, okay? You can uncover the path. You can uncover your authenticity. And there is not a single person on this planet that I look at and think to myself, I am jealous or I'm envious, because I've reframed my way of thinking when it comes to these things. which is completely possible, okay? My cat is drinking and I'm so sorry if you can hear that. There should be space for everybody to explore. You know, even if we have a friend that's like that, I can't say what it would be like to do this work with them in your life, because I'm so much better off not being in their life. You know, it was such a sore point for me. I found that it was best to have my space to explore my authenticity, and funnily enough, my authenticity ended up being something completely opposite to them, you know. It's not so much about being somebody else, but using the feelings that we have about somebody to uncover ourselves. It's something that can ruin friendships. It's something that can ruin self-esteem. And, you know, everybody deserves a chance to explore their authenticity and figure out who it is that they actually are, and understand that the awesome qualities that we see in other people, the awesome things that other people do, is something that we can explore as well. And through that, we figure out what we like and what we don't like. And as a result, we become our most authentic selves. Sometimes there's even better qualities that you'll find that you have through that exploration. And it's so much better than sitting in jealousy and envy and ultimately putting yourself in a position where you could hurt somebody. Because that is the point that I got to. I got to a point where I wanted to put my pain onto other people and sort of, you know, share that experience and share that hurt, which is what happened to me to begin with when I was younger, when I was a child. That was what was put onto me. And, you know, when these things happen, you don't understand. You don't understand that it's not normal and that it's not okay. You just kind of deal with it, and you just kind of say to yourself, well, I must not be lovable, I must not be valuable because this person says that I'm not, or they tell me that I'm not, so it must be true. But it's not true. It's not true. And, you know, when we take that on and we believe those things about ourselves, it puts us in a position to hurt somebody else the exact same way. And this cycle is something that will just continue for the rest of your life. And really ask yourself, do you want to hurt other people because of the pain that you feel because something happened to you? Or do you want to change and actually use your jealousy and your envy to find yourself and to love yourself? Because, like I said before, if we can see it in other people, it exists within us as well. And it's worth knowing. It's worth knowing that those things are there, that we can love parts of ourselves, that there are parts of us that are lovable. And that's a process, because there can also be parts of ourselves that we just absolutely can't stand. And it's a journey, and it's a process, and it's not going to be perfect all the time. But the most important thing is that we stop that cycle, especially before it gets to a point where we hurt somebody that's completely innocent. Luckily, this friend had their head screwed on and kicked me out of their life when it was getting bad, because it definitely would have ended up really ugly if I had, you know, had them in my life. I just would have used them as a target, and it wouldn't have been nice. And instead, I chose a different path. I chose to self-reflect, and I chose to, you know, take responsibility for my insecurities, because I was so insecure. I really hated myself, and through learning how to, you know, alchemize those feelings and use my jealousy and my envy as something as a guide, you know, instead of a burden, it's a guide towards my interests and things that I like and ways that I want to express myself. And then it turns from jealousy going down the path of copying into jealousy going down the path of being inspired and taking inspired action and pursuing self-discovery. Ultimately, this is what jealousy is asking of us. It's asking us to explore ourselves, explore our interests, explore our mind, the things that we like, roads that we want to travel down. And of course, there's always going to come with, hurdles to jump, but they're worth jumping because, like in all of my videos, pretty much, I say, like, at the end of the day, it's about living a fulfilling life. It's about being happy. Jealousy and envy, although an ugly, not nice feeling to have, feels very shameful, it's actually something that can unlock our potential. So remember, if you're jealous or envious of somebody else, it is not their fault, it's not their problem. It's completely your own, and it's something that you have to take responsibility for. And ultimately, it will lead you to a lot of happiness if you let it. So as always, I really hope that this video helped, and I will see you in the next one.